Hello class, and welcome to Module 5 presentation. This week's presentation will discuss pedagogical differences. When determining which learning strategies and platforms to use, teachers must consider students' needs, readiness levels, and learning preferences. Accessibility, usability, and technology access are critical to ensure equitable participation. The strategy should align with learning objectives, content rigor, and assessment methods. Teachers should evaluate opportunities for interaction, collaboration, and active engagement, as well as the platform's ability to provide timely feedback. Data privacy, security, and institutional policies must also be reviewed. Additionally, cognitive load, clarity, and design, and ease of navigation affect retention. The best choices intentionally balance pedagogy, technology, and student support to maximize understanding and long-term learning outcomes. When determining effective pedagogical strategies, one must decide the values placed in the needs of the student and nature of the subject being taught. Effective teaching requires balancing the needs of students with the demands of the subject matter. Every discipline has its own structure, skills, and standards that must be honored to maintain rigor and standard. At the same time, students bring diverse backgrounds, readiness levels, interests, and learning preferences into the classroom. A skilled teacher adjusts instructional strategies, pacing, and support without diluting essential content. By blending responsiveness with academic expectations, teachers create learning experiences that are both accessible and challenging. This balance fosters engagement, deep understanding, and growth, ensuring students master core concepts while feeling supported and motivated to succeed. This balance happens when instructions honors both learner variability and the integrity of the discipline. Media technology is essential in education because it expands access to information beyond what is confined within textbooks and places it into convenient, transferable, and expandable packaging with the ability to support diverse learning styles. Digital tools prepare students for modern academic and professional endeavors. When media and technology are used effectively, critical thinking, understanding, and retention become the necessary byproduct for future learning. I would like to bring a particular focus to a few media technology learning platforms. The first one that I'll be discussing is computer online based learning. Online learning offers unmatched convenience by allowing students to access coursework anytime and anywhere. It eliminates the horrors of traffic by removing a student's commute from the equation. It provides flexible scheduling and enables learners to balance education with work and family life. Digital platforms also allow materials to be reviewed multiple times in ways that traditionally missing a teacher's lecture will not. Computer online based learning embraces the personal learning pace of the student and provides the student with greater control over his or her learning experience. The psychologist James Gibson described affordance as the perceived possibilities of an object in relation to its environment. The technology of computer online learning affords the student an opportunity to view teacher lectures and upload assignments, writings, and projects in order to demonstrate their understanding of the subject matter. The next media technology I will be discussing is social media. Social media can be defined as a group of internet based applications that build on the ideological and technological foundations, allowing the creation and exchange of user generated content. Today, with ever increasing multimedia internet and various affordances of mobile devices, social media, and mobile based education is being realized. This method is beginning to enable new forms of learning environments that can serve students in various educational contexts relevant to contemporary education and expectations of students, teachers, and the world. The opportunities for technological affordance in social media based learning are vast. They include an application for resources sharing and assessing due to the feature of platform integration. It can be utilized in a collaborative way for collective learning because of features such as connectivity and group joining. Also, it can be used for administrative purposes to manage the class due to its feature of notification pushing. Social media based learning draws on the existing population behavior of internet based connected groups, and with this familiarity comes a level of comfort. It emphasizes knowledge building through group interaction. It also promotes student collaboration and social engagement for the purposes of individual and collective educational benefit. The final media technology I will be discussing is virtual reality. Virtual reality extends far beyond gaming and has begun to transform the way we receive education through innovative and immersive platforms. It allows students to explore complex concepts, simulate real world environments, and practice skills safely and interactively. From virtual labs to historical recreations, virtual reality deepens student understanding, increases engagement, and enhances retention through unforgettable hands on digital experiences. The virtual reality education market is rapidly increasing in usage and expanding in scope. It is driven by demand for immersive learning, technological advances, institutional investment, and growing recognition of the impact that virtual reality has on student engagement and retention. The virtual reality industry has a variety of applications used in education. These applications range from virtual science labs and medical simulations to historical recreations, language immersion, engineering design, and collaborative problem solving assignments. The learning theory of virtual reality embodies constructivism and promotes the idea that people cultivate knowledge by interacting with their environment and relating that interaction with their own ideas. This process attaches unique, individualized meaning to the learned material, allowing students to retain and recall information more effectively. Virtual reality affords immersive simulation, spatial visualization, and experiential practice in a safe, risk taking environment. It also offers real time implementation and collaboration with immediate instructional feedback. Virtual reality embodies interaction and deeper engagement with learning materials and is particularly helpful when material involves complex concepts. Motivation is a key component of student learning. Virtual reality improves real world understanding and strengthens skill development. It also supports experimental learning by decreasing the fear of trying. Virtual reality has instructional benefits because it enables active participation and promotes long term retention through immersive educational experiences. Furthermore, the gamification usage of the virtual reality can enhance levels of motivation among students through encouraged engagement. Sections. The sections model uses pedagogical alignment within a structured framework to achieve student-centered results. Sections is an acronym that stands for students, ease of use, cost, teaching functions, interactivity, organizational, networking, and security. Within the student area of the sections model, we must address the issue of how teachers must now teach an increasingly diverse range of students. This increasing diversity of students presents major challenges for all teachers. In particular, it is important to know and understand the student demographics of the class and be clear about the needs of the target group. For example, first and second year students straight from high school are likely to require more support and help studying at university or college level. They are likely to be less independent as learners, and therefore it may be a mistake to expect them to be able to study entirely through the use of technology. Finally, within any single class or group of learners, there will be a wide range of differences in prior knowledge, language skills, and preferred study styles. The intelligent use of media and technology can help accommodate these differences. So again, it is important to know your students and to keep this in mind when making decisions about what media or technology to use. Within the ease of use area of the sections model, I would like to discuss the following. In most cases, the use of technology in teaching is a means, not an end. Therefore, it is important that students and teachers do not have to spend a great deal of time on learning how to use educational technologies or on making the technologies work. If a great deal of time has to be spent by students and teachers in learning how to use software for the development or delivery of course material, this can distract from the learning and teaching process. Finally, it will make life a lot easier for both teachers and students if an institution has strategies for supporting students. Within the cost area of the sections model, I would like to discuss the following. There have been dramatic reductions in the cost of developing and distributing all kinds of media due to several factors. The first factor is rapid developments in consumer technologies such as smartphones that enable text, audio, and video to be both created and transmitted by end users at low cost. Next, compression of digital media, enabling even high bandwidth video or television to be carried over wireless, landlines, and the internet at a lower cost. The next factor is improvements in media software, making it relatively easy for non-professional users to create and distribute all kinds of media. And the final factor is increasing amounts of media-based open educational resources, which are already developed learning materials that are free for teachers and students alike to use. Within the teaching functions area of the sections model, identifying appropriate uses of media is both an increasingly important requirement of teachers and instructors in a digital age, and a very complex challenge. This is one reason for working closely with instructional designers and media professionals whenever possible. Teachers working with instructional designers will need to decide which media they intend to use pedagogically speaking. Once the choice of the media has been made, by focusing on design issues, we can provide further guidelines for making appropriate use of media. Within the interactivity area of the sections model, We must understand how different media enables different interactions. The affordance of interaction is critically important as there is now an overwhelming amount of research evidence to suggest that students learn best when they are active in their learning. In the organizational area of the sections model, I would like to discuss the following. If an institution is organized around a set number of classroom periods every day and the use of physical classrooms, the teachers are likely to focus mainly on classroom delivery. Most institutions that have successfully introduced media and technology for teaching on a large scale have recognized the need for professional support for faculty by providing instructional designers, media designers, and IT support staff to support teaching and learning. Some institutions also provide funding for innovative teaching projects. Within the networking area of the sections model, it is important that we ask a few questions. The first question is, how important is it for students to network beyond the class? The second question is, will students be interacting with subject matter experts? And lastly, can student learning benefit from external connections? Media technology should be chosen based on the answers to these questions. Within the security area of the sections model, teachers, instructors, and students need a private place to work online. Instructors want to be able to criticize people and entities without fear of reprisal, and students may want to keep rash or radical comments from going public. Creating a strictly controlled environment enables institutions to manage privacy and security more effectively. Management systems should be installed in order to provide password protected access to register students and authorized instructors. Finally, both the institution and the student will want to be secure when it comes to identity protection. In conclusion, technology in education is a springboard to student learning, and with an added bonus of information retention due to collaborative participation. Media technology serves as a doorway to expansive knowledge acquisition, while traditional in classroom learning confines information to a teacher's lecture and what can be squeezed into a textbook. Beyond traditional thinking norms brings forth frameworks like the sections model, which allows designers to align curriculum with student focused learning. With the world moving more towards globalization and a need for more access to information, it has become imperative to modernize educational delivery methods in order to adequately prepare the next generation of students.